Alright, in the video today I'm extending the idea of what we did in class. So we are going to first start out by expanding expressions, and then we're going to factor two expressions. So let's start out with this one, -6. So this will be an expanding one. So we have -6 times the quantity -7 plus 2y. Alright, first thing to notice in this is that if we go inside the parentheses order of ops and do that first, can we combine how many terms there are in there? How many terms are there? Say it out loud. How many? There are 2. Now, are these 2 terms like terms? No, because one of them has a y and the other doesn't. So we can't even add these together. So what the heck do you do? Well, you have to go to the outside. What is sitting between the -6 and the parentheses? An invisible multiplication symbol. So we have this -6 that we need to multiply with these how many terms? 2. So I'm going to take -6 and multiply it by the first term, which was -7. And bring down the plus sign. I'm going to multiply the -6 by the second term, which was 2y. So as you notice what we were highlighting in class, the -6 is being multiplied by the 2 terms that were in parentheses. And then we'd go ahead and simplify both terms. And here, -6 times -7 will give us our constant number of 42. And then here, the coefficient in front of the y value is not going to be 2 anymore. It is going to be -12. So you could write this expression out, just leave it like this. Or you might be noticing, if I'm adding a negative, that's really the same thing as just doing 42 minus 12y. So you could write it either way. And there we have it. We have expanded that original expression. So let's try it one more time. It's a little more complicated of some numbers. Okay. So let's try this one. 5/8 times the quantity of -4t over 3 plus 16. Whoa, that thing looks awesome. First off, inside the parentheses, what do you think? Like terms? I'm glad you said no, because the 16 does not have a t with it. So we cannot add those together, fortunately. So we go to the outside. The 5/8 is being multiplied with those 2 terms in the parentheses. So I'm going to write this out. I have 5/8 times my first term of -4t over 3. And bring down that plus sign. I have 5/8 being multiplied with the second term of 16. Now calm down. This is going to be fine. You have fractions. You know how to multiply with fractions. It's fine. Okay, so if I multiply here a positive, look at the 5/8, we multiplied twice, right? Because that was on the outside. If I have a positive times a negative here, I'm going to end up with a negative number. And if I don't cross reduce here, 5 times 4 is 20 over, well, and I have this t. I'm just going to leave it there because I can't multiply it because I don't know what t is. It could be anything. Over 8 times 3, which is 24. Now that bugs me because 20 over 24 could really be simplified. I could divide those both by, what number? What's the biggest number that goes into both of them? Is it 2? Is it 4? Is it, I think it's 4. So 20 divided by 4 gives me 5. And 24 divided by 4 gives me 6. All right, so I have simplified that. If you cross-reduced it, just to show you, the 4 and the 8 cross-reduce, that would become a 1. This would become a 2. And look at, we get 5 times 1, 5, over 2 times 3, 6. We get our simplified version right away. Anyway, bring down the plus, and now we have to do 5/8 times 16. I see a fraction here, so I'm going to make 16 a fraction. That would be 16 over 1. Positive times positive is going to be a positive number. And then let's cross-reduce this thing. The 8 and the 16 both go into 8. So 8 would become 1. And 16 divided by 8 is 2. So I multiply across, and I'm at 10 over 1, which is really just 10 divided by 1, which is 10. Wow. So I end up with that beautiful algebraic expression, negative 5, 6t plus 10. All right, we're going to end with 1, or maybe 2, okay, just surprise, factoring problems. So let's go ahead and factor 4x minus 28. Okay, we're going backwards now because when you look at these two terms, can we combine them? No, because they're not like terms. So we're going to factor. We're going to split it up into what times what gets me back to this. So we're working this backwards. So what do we need to do? We need to write out 4, the factors of 4, and the factors of 28. Can you list them out before me? Maybe pause video, write them down. Factors of 4, 1 times 4, 2 times 2, and that's it. Factors of 28, 1 times 28, 2 times what? Do you know it off the top of your head? 14. How about 3? No. How about 4? Yes. 4 times 7. Is there anything left in between there that multiplies to give you 28? No. So the greatest common factor is 4. So I am going to rewrite this, and I'm going to rewrite each term with its factors using my greatest common factor of 4. So now I'm going to split up 4 into, I'm going to use 4. So 4x is going to become 4 times what is 4? 1. And there was an x with it, right? And then we had a minus 28. We're going to split that into 4 times something. 4 times 7 is 28. So now you notice we have our greatest common factor coming out in both numbers. So now I'm going to take that number out and say we found 4 of 2 things, right? What were those 2 things? 1x, bring down the subtraction sign, and a 7. We found 4 of 1x and we found 4 of 7. So here is my factored form, 4 times 1x minus 7. So 4 times quantity of x minus 7 is equivalent to 4x minus 28. These are equivalent to each other. One of them's in factored form, and one of them is just expanded form. Okay? Alright, because I have time, 1 more minute, we're going to do one more factor problem. So let's factor 10x plus 25. We're splitting it up. So I need to write out the factors of 10. Write out the factors of 25. Factors of 10. 1 times 10. 2 times 5. 3. No. Okay, 25. 1 times 25. 2 times, no. 3 times, no. 4 no. 5 times 5. And then it's done. So the greatest common factor is 5. So we're going to take that greatest common factor and we're going to use it. So instead of writing 10x, we're going to factor this into 5 times something that gets me back to 10, which is 2 with the x there. Plus, I'm going to split this up, greatest common factor 5 times what gets me back to 25? 5. So here you see I have my greatest common factor twice. So I'm going to bring it out because we found 5 of 2 things. 5 of what? 5 of 2x, bring down the plus, and 5 of 5. So there we have 10x plus 25 is equivalent to 5 times the quantity of 2x plus 5. Factored form, expanded form.
Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.